taking a look around the YouTube wall today, I happened to notice a comment. It's been up for almost a year. I just saw it today under the video about pick me's. Pick me, choose me, love me. This guy posted a comment and it says the most hilarious thing about these pick me females is that some of these chicks are married and they're seeking validation within male circles. Completely disrespectful to their husbands, further proving the talking points of red pilled men. Now, I wanted to talk about that because I found his comment fascinatingly ignorant. It's just completely backwards to the reality of what a solid and sane relationship is. And it is my position that these men who call themselves red pillars and all this stuff are not those guys. They are not sane, nor are they sensible, nor could they ever, by following those tenets, offer any kind of relationship that would make any sense. Any interaction with them is going to be toxic because they actually hate women. They are resentful of the power that you have over them. So they go through all these machinations to try to wrest it back. Let me give you some examples. Okay, so this guy is basically, his position is that, these women are looking for validation from other men. And that is disrespectful to their husband. It could also be a boyfriend, whatever. Which proves that these guys, these red pill guys, are right. Okay, this is my thing. If you're not going to give your woman, you're not going to validate your woman, you're not going to do and say things that make her feel good, you leave the door open for somebody else to slide right on in there and do it instead of you. That's what you're doing. So these guys are all on these web pages and these, sites and forums and whatnot, complaining bitterly about how women have dogged them out and taken their children and, moved on from them and broke their hearts and won't date them, won't talk to them, and this and that. Yet, there's hundreds upon hundreds of websites and videos out here that are teaching them that their goal is to withhold validation, withhold saying nice things, and to not do anything for a woman that would make her want to be with them. In their mind, they need to manipulate you into positioning yourself so that they can use you for one purpose, the eggplant routine. But they're not really trying to make themselves vulnerable or connect with you on an emotional level. They just want to play these kind of games. And I know this sounds vague, but let me explain. Okay, so I went to a couple of sites and I pulled some quotes. This is direct copy. I did not make this stuff up. So this one page says, that this whole validation thing is a psychological game. As we said before, women don't have anything more valuable than eggplant to offer and will give it to the guy from whom they want to feel validated. That's not true. Women will give it to the guy who they feel attracted to. I don't know what these guys are so wrong. The guy that, in their opinion, can make their life better and safer. Well, yeah, if they're looking for marriage, that's true. But if they're just looking for a good time, they don't care about any of that. These guys are he's stupid. What she's looking for is to feel good about being with you and to enjoy the time that she spends with you. But, oh no, that's not good enough. They don't understand that. So he says everyone should know how this game works. Even when you're meeting some girl and plan to get into a long-term relationship with her, this validation stuff still applies. You can validate her at the start. You validate her when she takes her clothes off. You lead how fast things go. When she does something cool, you validate her. Maybe give her a little kiss. When she's creating drama and bitching around, soft next is what you do. You ignore her. And that's how you train her to do what you want. That's how you play this game. And he tells me, you're going to be tempted to validate her and compliment her, but don't do it. Wait longer. It'll pay off in the end. But the main thing you need to focus on here is that's how you train her to do what you want. Okay, so understand this. I keep telling y'all in every video, I repeat this. Their sole goal, every single male on this planet, I don't care if they deny it or not, is to get you to do what they want you to do, to have the upper hand, to have control. That's all they think about. That's all. That's the only thing that they want. So if you have a guy who's not like that, that's when the other guys will call him a simp and all that kind of stuff. But in reality, those guys know what time it is. They're not trying to be arguing and getting on a woman's bad side. They want some eggplant. They want some home cooked meals. They want some smiles, and they want some loving and affection and romance. And so they know by keeping their big mouth shut, they're gonna get that. These guys haven't figured that out yet. And so then he says, he's lecturing these guys, right? So he says, when you take attention from women, they're lost. They start to act like children. This is precisely why ghosting is so powerful. Most of the time, she asks herself, why is he ignoring me? Doesn't he like me? Why am I not pretty enough? Later, when I tell her to bring me something to do something for me, they do without arguing, only because I didn't validate her. No, she does that because she's stupid. She's a pick-me, and she's desperate for male attention. And that is, okay, you're thinking right now that that's a benefit to you, but as we move on, I'm going to show you how you set yourself up for the drama that comes at you later. Okay, so he says the more value you have, the more your opinion is important to her. Obviously, this is not going to work if you're homeless or on the street. In other words, work on yourself. That means you can't be a homosexual trying to run nothing. Those guys who play this game right will have big success because when you win a girl psychologically, you can do whatever you want to her. She becomes your play doll then. As I've said, I will try to remember the link to the video. The number one thing for you to do, ladies, is control your emotions. As you see, this guy is here, and he's not the only one. There's hundreds of other ones, probably thousands, that teach me in the same rhetoric, that they want to use your emotions and your desire to bond with the man in a close emotional way against you. They use it as a way to control you, as a way to get what they want from you and leave you like trash on the side of the road. Y'all who want to brag about, well, I love hard. I'm a ride or die chick. I just, my man, me and my man, this and that. You're dumb. Okay, you better fix your mind right, get your mind right, and understand what's going on out here. You can't be running around like that. You're just going to be just used, abused, and tossed aside by man after man after man after man because you don't understand the games that they're trying to run. All this channel, this is what I do, try to bring this to your attention so you will understand the reality of what we're dealing with in 2019. You cannot go by them fairy stories that you were read to you as a child. That shit is fantasy. Okay, this is the reality. These guys are no joke. They're all sociopaths and narcissists, and all they want to do is use you and hurt you. They don't they don't care about you, not as a person. Not really. So, let's just be real for a minute. So, this guy, his whole attitude is very sick and twisted. It's very sick and twisted, but what bothers me the most is, what's so crazy about these dudes is they seek out a woman with low self-esteem. That's what they want. They don't want anybody who's strong, who's got a feminist attitude, who's confident, and they don't want that kind of woman because she's too hard to control. They want somebody who's, more weak and docile and needy and who they can easily manipulate by withholding flattery and, this validation and all this kind of stuff, who they can manipulate by withholding eggplant, for instance. And they teach each other how to break women down and how to make sure that you ladies don't feel good about yourself because they want you to be in a weakened, vulnerable position. That position makes you easier to control and manipulate and use because if you have no self-esteem and you're looking to them to define who and what you are, and they set themselves up to be that person, well, they got it made in the shade. And they press you. I mean, you women who have very low self-esteem, you're always worried about how you look. You're always worried about what other people think about you and how you appear in the eyes of other people. So you're just a victim. You waiting to be victimized, and they are going to use you up because you have no confidence in yourself. Who and what you are and what you think about yourself comes to you and is defined completely by others outside of yourself. And that's just a recipe for disaster. You sit up there, you worry about want to look good. Your hair has to be perfect. Your nails have to be perfect. Your clothes have to be perfect. Your body has to be perfect. You just worry too much about pleasing other people. You're getting plastic surgery and doing all this stuff, wearing all this makeup all the time. No, you're doing too much. So when these guys, but this is my main point. I mean, that was just kind of a sidetrack. The main point is this: when these guys get a woman like that, a woman who's got this super low self-esteem and who's under his control, he feels validated. I mean, she's doing everything he wants. He's like in control of her mind. He can like yank her chain whenever he wants to. He thinks, wow, this is great. This is my woman. I'm gonna marry her or move in with her, or whatever. He tries to set things up so that there's some kind of regularity to their relationship. But they forget. Okay, you forget this one part. Every sword has two blades. Dudes, she has low self-esteem and she needs validation and flattery to feel good about herself. You created that monster. You wanted that woman. You did everything that you could to destroy her self-esteem. So she started getting her sense of esteem from you, which is someone outside of herself. Okay, but it won't stop there. That's the part you guys just don't seem to understand. You set this woman up to be needy like that with these mind games you played, and you got to understand, if she's not going to be getting that kind of validation and reinforcement from you, then you have left the door open for her to get it from someone else. And that's the part that they just don't seem to get. And people have many reasons why they need validation. Many reasons. It could be because they suffered a lot of defeat. They're kind of like really feeling down and out. They need somebody to kind of lift them up. Maybe they looked at other people. They watch other people and other people are doing really well, but they haven't had that kind of success. Or they've seen other people getting validated, but they've been kind of feeling left out in that whole routine. Or they see the people around them having fun, but they don't feel like, their situation is fun. They're not having fun. They're lonely. Or, and here come the ones where these main ones apply to these guys, they are dependent on social positions and need attention from caregivers. That would be you, dudes. And the final one, they need someone to recharge their emotions. And that would be you as well, because you have set yourself up to be that battery for her. You didn't want her to be able to do it for herself because that made you not have as much power. You see that? Everybody needs emotional validation at some point. I mean, that's part of human nature. But how they go about getting it is very, very different. Very different. And it just seems like, these guys, these are men, they get their validation through conquest, through winning, through conquering women, through, getting women all stuff. Okay, they feel like, they want to get in groups. They want to brag about how many women they got, all the numbers they got, this, how many women they got in their stable, all this kind of stuff, right? How many women they slept with. That's how guys validate themselves emotionally. Money, conquest, women, that kind of thing. Whereas women get a validation through closeness, through sharing, through being bonded with someone else. So as you can see, these two needs are in complete opposition to each other. So you're looking for closeness and security and emotional, openness and stuff so you can feel close to this man. And he's looking just to win. He don't really care about nothing like that. He just want to win. He wants to conquer you by any means necessary. So you're thinking that his games and his flattery and all this stuff is bonding you to him. He's using that merely as a tool to manipulate and control you. You ladies have got to stop depending on these guys to define who and what you are. You've got to stop doing that. If he gives you a compliment, say that's nice, but who gives a shit? Who asked you what you think? I think you're beautiful. I don't give a fuck what you think. That's what you need to say to him. I think I'm this and that, and what you think is irrelevant. Okay, that's what you need to say. So he will understand out the gate. Your game, I'm slick to that. That's not going to work here. Try something else. Or, he's like, well, he tried to play this game where he don't pay you no attention. He was all up in your face, right? And now he don't want to pay you no attention. Go on and get with some other dudes. Don't even trip on him. If he's, he want to play that ghost game, bye. Don't let the doorknob hit you where the good Lord splits you. That was my grandfather's phrase. So, you don't worry about him. You don't worry about him. You go on, there's like 50 bazillion million other men on this planet. You go and get what you need from one of them. He want to play them kind of stupid games, let him play them by himself. You be over there by yourself and go keep hunting for some broad who's dumb enough to fall for your game, because that ain't me. So, all in all, I thought it was very astonishing how this guy said what he said, and how he felt like, these women were being bad, they were cheating on their husbands or whatever, because the men weren't, because the women needed validation. Dude, these guys set that up. Okay, they set her up like that to need that kind of reward, that kind of acknowledgement, for her to be that kind of emotionally needy. So if she needs that, which is what they wanted now, right? Because they made sure that, they did everything to manipulate her to be that, to respond to that kind of behavior. But then suddenly they don't want to give it to her. Now they married, they got a couple of kids, and they want to punish her. They decided they didn't like something she did, something she said, something she didn't do that they want her to do. So they decide that they're going to not give her this validation. That's why y'all's asses are divorced. That's why she takes your kids and runs off with your money, because you're stupid. Whatever you did to get her, you need to keep doing it to keep her. And those of you who think that you can play these kind of games with women, you create this monster, and then you want to act like, yeah, she's supposed to just be okay with being abandoned and left alone, and you don't pay any attention to her after you set her up to need that from you. Well, what is the fuck you think is going to happen? She's going to get it from somebody else. That's what's going to happen. And she's going to go over there. And that guy, knowing how stupid you are, is going to come with it like bombing her with attention, affection, time, conversation, laughs, smiles, and all the stuff that she's not getting from you while you try to run these stupid games. So in one hand, I suppose you are right. If you're not going to act right, the best thing for you to do is not get involved in a relationship. But for those of you who do want a woman's love, and you do want a family, and those are things that you really want, you just don't know how to get it, please stay off of these people's websites. Don't listen to their videos. They're going to have you all kinds of fucked up. And no woman with any kind of sense is going to stay with you. You might get a woman, you looking at, well, she's broke down, she's got low self-esteem, she won't leave me. No, what's going to happen is there's going to be some dude who sees how you treat her, and he's going to say, wow, she's really beautiful. She's so nice. She's such a sweet person. And he going to swoop in and going to fill her head with flattery and all the stuff. All the stuff that you set her up to need, he's going to give it to her while you over there playing them kind of games. And he's going to snatch your woman, snatch your kids, and snatch your life. And it's going to be your fault because you are stupid and you listen to these idiots online. If you want a woman and you want her to be with you, you need to make her happy. Make her so happy, do everything so great and grand and wonderful that no other man can hold a candle to you. That's how full her eyes and heart are of you. Now, if you do that, then no matter what, you could have an off day or even a week. She ain't going nowhere. She not going to look at nobody. Nobody else is going to even get her ear because you are the dude. You that dude, okay? But you are playing these kind of little silly games here where you leaving her vulnerable and open and a big void in your relationship. You're setting her up to leave you. So I don't want to hear it. Don't come over here whining and crying to me about how these women left you. You made that happen. You did that to your damn self. And I have no pity for you. This is Deb Cooper from survivingdating.com. I'll talk to you guys real soon. Bye-bye.